All right, and welcome to this weekly recap video here from sellthatoption.com. My name is Ryan Bowyer, and I am the founder and head trader here at sellthatoption.com. One of the things that we do each week is we send what is called a weekly strategy recap video. And so what we do there, and I'm going to show you here in just a second because you're watching the video, but what I do there is I go over my current portfolio with all members. And so I go into exactly what it is I'm looking at for the week. I go into strategies and securities that are performing well for me. I go into how I'm looking at adjusting trades. If there are also particular securities or stocks of interest that I'm really looking at making a move, then I'm also going to highlight it here. So that's one of the things that you're going to get if you ultimately sign up for a subscription here at sellthatoption.com is a weekly market overview, weekly portfolio overview. Because we do swing trades and we primarily sell options here at, as our name suggests, sellthatoption.com, we have the opportunity to make really methodological and mathematical decisions based on what it is that we're seeing in the market. And so I go over all of that every Saturday or Sunday with our members. Okay, so let's say you were to pick up a subscription here at sellthatoption.com. Let's take a look at exactly how you would get there prior to getting into this week's strategy recap video. Okay, and if you're logged into your account, you would simply go here to members and then click weekly strategy recap, which does bring us to this page. Now, what you'll notice is that the very most recent one is the first one, and so you simply click play and you will get the weekly strategy recap video. That again gives you everything that I'm looking at for the week, how my positions are doing, whether or not I'm thinking about adjusting any of my positions or whatnot. After the expiration period, I do upload all of these videos to YouTube. That way you all can see the progression of the positions, take a look at securities that we were successful in, take a look at securities that we were unsuccessful in, because my trading is 100% transparent. Okay, now, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at Ryan, R-Y-A-N, at sellthatoption.com, or click below here and leave me a comment, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And as always, stay humble, stay hungry. Here's to our success, and enjoy this weekly strategy recap video. All right, good afternoon. Today is Sunday, January the 7th, 2017, and this is our weekly portfolio review and strategy conversation. So the first thing I want to do is talk about the first couple of days here in the new year. We did have 4 trading days on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th here in 2017, and there are a couple of really interesting things to talk about. We'll first start with the SPY and diamonds. 4 days of just, huge gains here. As you can see in each, the SPY, the QQQ, and the diamond, what we see is we see new all-time highs, ending new all-time highs to end the week, right? So we saw a pretty big jump in each of the indices. So SPY, we saw major jumps in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We saw major jumps. The Qs, we also saw a major jump. This kind of juxtaposes a little bit with the IWM chart, which did see gains, right? It did see a couple of dollars in gains from to start the new year. However, we didn't see quite as strong of a move. I think the last candle is really important when we're looking at the IWM because it is a combination between a doji and a hammer here. Not quite a hammer, but it's close, right? It is a close candle there. And so one of the things that we're really seeing here is that the markets are certainly bullish, but if the IWM is a leading indicator, then that might mean that we see a retracement. I'm not going to put any money on a retracement, right? Anytime anybody's put that trade on, it's usually bit them in the butt. However, one of the things that I do think is important to note is that all 3 of the indices were very, very strong to end the week. What we saw in regards to volatility, since we do primarily look at volatility here, is a retraction in volatility, especially on Monday and Tuesday, and then we kind of stayed at that 9 level there in the VIX, the VIX index. Okay, so this is just a quick look. We are certainly bullish. We are over that 9 exponential moving average, which I tend to look at pretty closely when looking at the overall markets, and so they are bullish. However, if the IWM is a leading indicator, as many people often say that it is, we might see some type of retracement in the markets. It certainly wouldn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me if it just kept moving, right? So bullish for now, but we are going to be watching the IWM as a leading indicator. Okay, let's get right into our portfolio overview and take a look at the positions and anything that we might do this week with those positions. All right, we're going to start in our diamond position. As you can see here, our diamond position is past that break even, and so we are going to look to adjust that. What we're likely going to do is move those short strikes, that short put. We're going to move the short put up. I think that we're probably too close to expiration to add any positions here, now that we're less than 20 days to expiration here in this position, and so we are going to look at adjusting that short put since it is past our break even there. Okay, let's take a look at EFA. EFA was a position we just added. Nothing to really talk about there. It is nicely centered over the market at what looks like 72.35, and our short strikes are at 72. So really nice position there. EWJ, the Japanese ETF, we did ladder into this position, and so we are back a little bit more centered over the market. It had moved pretty far past our break even, and as you saw on, I believe, Friday, we did ladder into another iron butterfly position as shown down here. So we did add a laddered iron butterfly position, and we currently have a probability of profit of 46.14%. So we're just going to let this position kind of play out and see what happens here. But if we do see this break-even break, what we'll do is we'll move this short put up as soon as we get about 3 weeks past, between 3 and 4 weeks to expiration. Okay, so these are, this is EWJ. In EWW, we did add another straddle. The cost to hold the straddle wasn't super high, so we did add in a straddle. And again, now we are nicely centered over the market here, and we have a probability of profit of 56.49%. So nicely laddered position, 3 strikes out, and so we have a pretty wide break even now, 46.94 all the way to 52.40. So again, kind of like this position and where we laddered into this one. Let's go in FXI, the Chinese real estate. We will be adding an iron butterfly. If we move up to 49, we will add it at 49. If we retrace back down to 48, we'll add it at 48. But I'm really waiting to see what price action happens on FXI, but we are going to be adding a position here, so be on the lookout for that alert on Monday, probably Monday afternoon. That's probably when I'm looking just to see what happens initially in the morning, but we are going to be adding another iron butterfly here in FXI in order to recenter ourselves over the market for February expiration. All right, GDXJ, this was a little bit different of a trade than what I normally do, so I didn't actually alert this trade. Now, I am in the process of creating some new case studies, though, for securities that hit some moving averages that I'm looking at. And so this is actually a long position, small position, only $790 at risk, but I'm looking for 300 or 400 in profit, looking for between probably 30 and 50% on this particular trade. And so this is a long position. We're currently up on this position. What is this? $120 or so. What is that? Yeah, $120, $119.29. So we are looking to try to get this position, you know, maybe in the 34.10 range or so. That's kind of what I'm looking at in the next couple of days, 34 to 34.10. It's kind of where I'd like to see. It's at 34.48 now, and so I definitely think that's possible, especially with the moving average crossover. If this ends up going well, I'll do a video lesson and put it on. I've already started the video lesson, and so I'm hoping that this trade ends well and I can start to look at adding some bought, even though we're 90% of the time going to sell options, adding some purchased options plays because I think there's some validity there to that. This is kind of that first thing here is this GDXJ, which is the Junior Gold Miners ETF, looking at some trades there. Okay, so this is the GDXJ and then be on the lookout for a video lesson there kind of detailing why I did that, and hopefully I can get out for 30 to 50% of profit. All right, now IWM for January expiration was one that we went inverted on. This is going to be a losing trade more than likely, and so I am trying to mitigate some of that risk. It's for January expiration, so we'll have this trade off in less than 2 weeks, but this is going to be a loser. We did adjust to bring in a little bit more credit here. We adjusted that 145 to 153 put on Friday, just in an attempt to bank some profits and then try to mitigate a little bit of risk. But we are looking at a loser here. I might try to roll it, but I just don't think that that's probably in the cards. That'll depend on if we get a pop in implied volatility at all over the course of the next couple of days. IYR, we're being challenged here on the put side. However, I'm going to wait and see if we do break that 79 level. But for right now, we're just kind of watching. If we get a close below 79, I'll look to adjust that trade by moving our call down to 80 or 79. We took in a decent credit here, and so hopefully what we can do is we can get this trade at the very least at a break even. We've still got plenty of time, though, to manage this particular trade, so I'm not super worried about it right now. OIH is a strangle position, a 26-27 strangle that we talked about a couple of days ago in our daily recaps. Still at a 50-50 shot for this trade. I think oil, just based on kind of some moving average lines, I think oil might be in for a slight retracement. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping for here, is for oil to move down and to get this trade back in. More centered between 26 and 27, which would be solid. Right now, the trade is at 27.88, and so we've got 50 more cents for the security to move before we're testing some of those break evens. But right now, just based on statistics and probability, we do have a 50.38% chance that this trade will still in between our break evens by expiration. Okay, not looking at doing anything right now though on this, just continuing to monitor because we haven't had one of those break evens challenged yet. All right, and here we are in our February position for the Qs. We will be adding another iron butterfly. As you saw earlier, the Qs just had a 5-point swing. And I think the credit that we had initially taken in on this iron butterfly was $5.11. And so we're going to need to relook at this position and probably ladder into another one at 162. Certainly not ideal, but then again, the start of this year was, again, a couple of points, a couple more points in gains. So we just got to continue to move with the market. And so we are going to be adding a Qs position if it stays above 162 on Monday. So that's 3 trades so far, FXI, DIA, and the Qs that we will certainly be adding into next tomorrow. Okay, let's go to TLT. TLT looks good. Nothing to say here. We actually might be getting this trade off because it looks good. We're probably nearing that 25% there, and so be on the lookout for this trade to potentially come off. UNG has been a disaster for me for a while. And so we're waiting for this to adjust the Thinkorswim platform in with the most recent split. So as soon as this gets updated, we'll relook here at this UNG position. All right, getting into all of our XLs. We'll start here in XLE. This isn't one that we normally trade, iron butterflies, but IV was elevated like we talked about, and so that's one of the reasons why we got into this security. Trade looks good, not really thinking about doing anything here. XLF also looks fine here. Again, not thinking about doing anything in XLF. XLU, let's actually get into our new position that we just added in February. That looks fine. Now this probability of profit is off because it's doing the most recent expiration date. So XLU is fine for February. February the 2nd, We're a month out, so we might add another one right here, but maybe not. Looking fine. And then this one, we really wanted to see XLU in between 53 and 54, and so we'll see if we get a move up here in this one. Overall, our position in XLU looks like we're down. Well, let's just get to the most recent expiration. So it's looking like we're down quite a bit in the security, but we've also banked some profits there. I'll have to clean this up just a little bit after we get through 2 of these expiration cycles. But XLU certainly did move a little bit beyond the original strike that we had at 54. So it's seen a pretty decent movement of 3 or 4% in literally the last month, which isn't something that you normally see in this security. But with our adjustments, I'll have to go through, but I actually think that even especially after we have this trade, that it'll end up being a profitable security. We'll just have to continue to monitor, but I actually think that it is profitable, even though our diagram isn't necessarily showing that. So I'll take a look at that and probably do a case study video on just XLU and kind of the trades and the laddering and using the different expiration dates for us there. All right, and XLV is another security that we have adjusted. We are profitable on this security if we end somewhere between 81 and 84.5. We do need for it to be a little bearish. Okay, so we do need the security to move a little bit back from 85.23 in order for this to be a profitable trade, but we did adjust, as you can see. Initially, we had the straddle at 81, but we did adjust and we moved up that put to get a little bit more credit. And then we'll put in that closing order for tomorrow. So I will email you all the closing order that I am entering in XLV. To hopefully get this off for a profit. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in XLV after the adjustment. XME looking fine. Nothing to worry about here in XME whatsoever. And then finally XRT. Let's see, where is XRT? XRT is right here. Again, nothing to worry about here in XRT. Really nice position. We're about $1 off, but that is well within the 25% credit that we received. So totally good here in XRT. So really we've built out a decent portfolio here for February. We're already having to do a little bit of adjustments, but it's fine. So we are looking at FXI, DIA, the Qs as securities that we're going to get into. We're going to enter in a couple of closing orders, and as I move those, I am going to send emails out indicating what closing orders after the adjustments that we have entered. I've just got to go in, look at the credits that we've received, the already banked profits, and then try to figure out where that 25% profit is based on the overall amount of credit that we've brought in order to try to continue to hit our profit targets. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. That is an overview of our portfolio. At the end of the day, really sitting pretty nice. And then let's actually take a look at this portfolio. Let's see if we can't beta weight it. And we're going to beta weight it to the SPY. Yeah, see, as you can see here, the beta weight to the SPY still looks really, really good. Got a lot of time decay in this, but as you can see, it's a pretty nice circle. It's a pretty nice chart here, and so we do have pretty wide break evens. And so if we are in, let's just make this set slices. We're going to take the break even. Got an 85.69% chance of making some money this week, and so I think that's fantastic. 260 to 277, really nice wide break evens here for the SPY. All right, so this is our weekly recap here, weekly portfolio. We talked about FXI, DIA, QQQs, and some closing orders that I'll email out to you all. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. But really, we've got a really nice portfolio set up, a really nice really nice, well-centered portfolio. Feel good about our chances to close out some trades for profit, as well as continue to build out trades that'll increase and consistently month in and month out generate income for these portfolios. If you have any questions, reach out to me at ryan@sellthatoption.com. Otherwise, as always, stay humble, stay hungry, and here's to our success.